Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it is time for my client Jordan's vlog, and we do so much exercise variation for him that I'm not going to put it all in the vlog, and the reason for that is just to keep overuse down. Because of the fact that we're running a very high specificity training on his main lifts, we need the variation in his supplemental work. So we don't really repeat the same exercises other than reverse hyperextensions and 2 workouts in the week. So what you're seeing here for him, we have 2 bench days, 1 squat day, 1 deadlift day every week. I prescribe a weight and I have him take it to 1 rep in reserve. Okay, we then track that over the weeks. I will make it gradually heavier. Now, before people go, well, that sounds like linear periodization. It's not linear periodization because we're not running it in blocks. And we're not giving it exact reps. I'm using those rep counts to assess his strength week to week and take him up heavier while keeping the hypertrophy high. Because outside of that one lift, everything else is volume. Everything else is volume. We're close to limit sets with fairly low volume. It's stuff like 2x10 on all his lifts. We don't do a lot on each lift. We keep the variation high. We track progress week to week on each of those lifts for 2 sets. So these dumbbell rows, he's only doing a couple sets. He's doing barbell rows in a different day. Okay, I want these hard work sets. And then he progresses on those. Again, we're bulking going into this meet. He is walking around right now, I believe, 8 to 9 pounds under his weight class, the top end of his weight class. I have 10 weeks to get him meet ready. We're going to gain close to 1 pound every week. I'm going to bulk him into this meet, keeping that variation high, progressive overload high. Every single week is just simply going to get slightly heavier all the way up while paying attention to recovery. We have a calorie surplus, so it works real well. So you guys are seeing in the background after the peak set, you're seeing some of the supplemental lifts we're doing. Like you saw incline, dumbbell there, some skull crushers, so on. All right, here's his squats. We did, I believe this is, I think it's at 8 reps. 7 or 8 reps with 355. All right, we're hoping for a good mid 400 squat. I'd like to see at least a 450 squat out of him at this meet. Now, we may get a little better than that. We're hoping for that. It might be one of those cases where we're going to look at the rep work walking in, and when we get close, we'll determine it, and he may go for something like, 450 or whatever for a second attempt, and then we may go for, again, that big PR on the third, depending on how that goes. But what we're seeing here, you're seeing the squats. He's doing some hanging leg raises. We do good mornings, reverse hyperextensions, hack squats, right? All that stuff. So in this case, really for Jordan, he's got pretty strong quads. Quads and things are not a weak link. So it's not to say that I neglect his quads, but I really only do about 4 or 5 work sets a week. And it tends to be, he's got some safety bar squats he does on one of the days, and he does hack squats on the other. Outside of that, it's very posterior chain heavy. Okay, for him, his hamstrings limit his deadlift. Now, a lot of people are looking there going, well, he's got some hamstring development. Yeah, but he didn't have 600-pound hamstring development. See the difference? Okay, I'd like to see him pulling 600 pounds one day. He doesn't have the hamstrings for that. Now, I know his hamstrings are the weak link in his deadlift. Most I've ever had him pulling, I got him up to 515 before, I believe, is right where we had him. Could be wrong. I'd like to see him, and he'd like to at this meet, he'd like to hit, up in the mid 5s. 530 to 550 walking into this meet. He doesn't have the hamstrings for that yet. I've got 10 weeks to thicken them up. We've got a calorie surplus. He's got access to a glute ham raise or reverse hyper, different bars to do good mornings with. Okay. want to get those hamstrings up. That's my biggest priority in his lower body. Yes, I want his quads to grow. Yes, I want glutes to grow. I want adductors to grow. But I need those hamstrings bigger. Okay. His upper body, really at this point, I'd just like to see more chest. More chest, more upper back. I want to get him faster out of the bottom of his bench. He's got good, strong triceps. All right. I'm not saying they couldn't be better. Can always be better. They're not a weak link for him. We got to get more pecs. We need to get more back. Okay. I need that stability from the back. I need that ability to help use it to slingshot off the chest at the bottom. We have to get his pecs bigger. Okay, so we've got to just get him thicker up there too. But again, what do we have going here? I have 10 weeks to bulk him. We're going to put on about 8 pounds in that time. Okay? 8 pounds in 10 weeks. With the appropriate accessory movements, with a slow taper up on the classic lifts. So that neural drive will be going up a little as we go. The real focus, I want to grow him into this meet. He does not have the meat on him in the right places where I want it for him to hit the lifts he wants to hit. But we come over and go, can we gain some muscle with it? With that aggressive bulk, 8 pounds, 10 weeks. Optimize hypertrophy volumes, progressive overload. We need to get him in that place. All right. His deadlifts, of course, coming up. He's rowing here. This is barbell rows. So again, you see what I mean about the quads? We've got quads. Again, not saying more isn't better. Of course, I'd like him to be a little more aggressive on these rows. It's like you need to hit it like you mean it. But I digress. Back over to the point. Not saying more isn't better, but he does have quads. Okay, it's the rest of the thigh. Gotta get those hamstrings, glutes, all that stuff. This is what we have to have. All right, deadlift. He hasn't done a conventional pull like this in just a little while, so we're starting out kind of light, but he managed to get 8 reps, so we're off to a good start. I'm going to raise this up. Every week the deadlift's going to get heavier. But it's also going to scale with that new tissue growth. Again, the main focus here for him is going to be staying within his recoverable volume by maximizing size. I need him bigger walking up to this platform. So we're going to pursue that aggressively. Of course, here you're seeing him do some of his glute ham raises, and then he's going to do some ab wheel rollouts. You'll see a little ab work to finish up. All right. But we've got a good, solid plan for him. Got a good, solid plan. Perfect world, we'll bench mid 3s, pull low to mid 5s, mid 4s on the squat. Yeah, sub 200 pound drug-free lifter. It's pretty decent if we can get there. Of course he's going to keep going up from there. But it's loosely the plan at this point. But we've got to get him thicker walking into it. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys next time.